Why did you feel the need to kill her?
I don't know.
Sometimes the warning signs are all there, but they go unnoticed until it's too late. Stephen Griffiths, later dubbed the crossbow cannibal, was a disturbed man with aspirations of becoming a notorious serial killer. In 2009, after multiple arrests and releases, Griffiths began targeting sex workers in the Bradford area, killing them with a crossbow. He even used public transport to move their remains in bin bags for disposal. The chilling footage that ultimately led to his arrest showed Griffiths flipping off the camera while committing one of his heinous crimes. Instead of showing fear or regret, he seemed completely unbothered by the fact he had been caught on tape. This moment of arrogance sealed his fate, ensuring justice for his victims.
Why did you feel the need to kill her?
I don't know. I don't know if sometimes you killed someone to kill yourself or kill parents. I don't know. It's like deep issues inside me.
The man you see on the screen is Metropolitan Police Officer Wayne Couzens. In this footage, he is first seen renting a car at a station in Kent. Later, he is captured on CCTV purchasing hairbands at a mall. Sarah Everett appears next, walking casually on screen. She is stopped by Officer Couzens, who accuses her of violating COVID-19 protocols. He handcuffs her and drives her away in his hire car. Poor Sarah likely felt safe, believing she was in a police car. Tragically, she would not live to see her 34th birthday. The next time Couzens is seen on camera, his horrific crimes are already complete. He is buying hot chocolate and a bakery tart. Later, CCTV captures him at a gas station, not filling his car's tank but a jerry can with petrol. You can guess its intended use. He also stops at the store to collect a flat-back trolley he had purchased.
We're here to talk to you about Sarah. I'm going to show you a picture. Do you know Sarah?
I don't know.
Okay. Sarah went missing. I'll show you some pictures of her on the day.
Okay.
Sarah went missing on Wednesday, and her parents obviously and her family are really worried about her now. The inquiry that's been conducted so far has led us to come and speak to you about it and to see what we know about Sarah, okay?
Sure.
She's been missing for a while now.
I'm sat in handcuffs and what I know her, so you must have something to say that I know her.
Well, as I said, you've been arrested on suspicion of kidnap, and we believe that you've been involved in her disappearance and taking her away from her family.
Okay.
So we are trying to find her. Obviously, everybody is very worried about her. She's got, parents. She's got, she's siblings. She's got a girlfriend. There's a lot of people that care about her.
Sure.
You've seen her on the news. The number of people that are reaching out about her.
Sure.
They're looking for her every day, and she's missing. And
Okay. Well, I am in financial, and I've been lent on by, I don't know who they are. They're a group, a gang, whatever. And they told me, right, I need to go and pick up girls and give them to them. So I said, not happening. And it then came through that they're going to harm my family, take them away, and they'll use them instead. At that point I had no option to try and find somebody. So I don't, there's a couple of names. I was told a place to take her. That's it. That is all I know. And to this group of people, it was between sort of Lenham, Maidstone area that I dropped her off. I still don't know. I don't know. They just, I just parked my car up, and then the van come up behind me, flashed me. They all jumped out, and then they took this girl. They said, you've done good, and I don't know whether my family's going to be alright still. But they threatened to take my family away from me. So at that point, I'm doing what I can to protect my family. That's it. So all I know is that it was a roundabout. We could drive there now. I could show you, but roughly I don't know Lenham, Maidstone area at all.
If we did it on Google, Maps, like Google Earth, if we drove it, would you be able to do it?
I drove from Ashford to Maidstone.
Yeah.
Opened my door, opened that door, pushed me out against the front of the car, took the girl, drove off. That's it. They said, we'll be in touch. So I'm here, I'm off work with stress because I'm here to protect my family. I want to be here 24/7 for my family. They come from my family. I've got nothing myself. I've got no choice. Honestly.
How are they telling you to be there? How is it that they're giving you those directions?
Yeah, they'll come outside. So they'll be outside here.
Yeah.
And then they'll say, right, you're going to be in Folkestone at this time, or you're going to be in Ashford at this time.
Cousins wiped his phone, restoring it to factory settings in an attempt to erase all evidence of his crimes. When the police caught up with him, he was arrested, wearing the cuffs of shame. He confessed, claiming he was forced to commit the acts. For his heinous actions, Cousins received a whole life sentence, the harshest punishment in the UK, short of the death penalty. The man in the white t-shirt is Luka Magnotta, a predator who lured his companion through a Craigslist ad. Promising a sexual encounter, Magnotta met Jun Lin, and together, they went to his apartment. Jun Lin was a Chinese immigrant with dreams of becoming a computer engineer, but those dreams ended tragically in Magnotta's bedroom. After they head upstairs, Magnotta appears again in the surveillance footage, this time wearing Jun Lin's t-shirt. Magnotta is later seen making several trips to the trash bins outside his apartment. Each time he goes out, he carries bundles, believed to be part of Jun Lin's body, disposing of them bit by bit. Imagine discovering your child's body in the woods with multiple stab wounds on Mother's Day. This was the reality for Stacey Bailey, whose daughter Tristan was brutally murdered by her classmate Aiden Fusi, the now 16-year-old you see on screen. The map shown here traces Aiden's movement on the day Tristan was murdered. Here is how it unfolded. Aiden had obtained Tristan's number through a friend and called her, convincing the young cheerleader to meet him at a mutual friend's house. Tristan and Aiden attended the same school and were, at the very least, acquaintances. At 5:17 p.m., Aiden left his home and headed to the meeting spot. Watch as Aiden arrives at the designated location with someone. Pay attention to the activity across the street where everything is happening. A doorbell camera captures it all. At 6:31 p.m., Aiden's girlfriend arrives at the house. She's seen riding a skateboard. An hour later, Aiden and his girlfriend leave together, riding off on a skateboard, and arrive at another location. After a while, Aiden leaves his girlfriend and returns to the house he had visited earlier. He's seen hanging out in the driveway, skating with a friend. Pay close attention to Aiden's white shoes. They will become crucial later in the story. In the next video, a figure believed to be Tristan is seen leaving her home around midnight. She meets up with Aiden, and the two are captured walking together past 1 a.m. This is the last time Tristan is ever seen alive. At 1:45 a.m., she disappears from view. The next footage shows a single figure running across the screen past 3 a.m., carrying white shoes in his hand. Later, the same figure is seen walking, no longer running, still holding the shoes as he makes his way home. Tristan's body was discovered with multiple stab wounds. Aiden Fusi later pled guilty to murder and was sentenced to life in prison. Everyone has their breaking point, the moment they realize they can't take anymore. For Fiona Beale, we may never know when that moment came. All we know is what she chose to do next: murder her abusive partner. After 17 years of cheating, abuse, and trauma, she decided to end it all and him. Don't let her calm demeanor fool you. The primary school teacher is far from innocent. Murderers often come up with creative ways to hide the evidence, and Fiona found what she thought was the perfect plan. Inspired, perhaps, by crime dramas, she buried her partner's body under a mound of dirt and let a garden grow over it. Nicholas Billingham was killed on November 1st, and this footage from November 13th shows Fiona preparing to cover her tracks. To hide the body, she reworked the entire garden, hoping no one would suspect a thing. Watch as she walks into the store like any other customer, but her purchase tells a chilling story. She bought 10 50-liter bags of compost and 10 22.5 kilogram bags of Cotswold stone. The compost was used to fill the garden, covering any signs of disturbance, while the stones added a decorative touch to keep suspicion at bay. A fresh patch of sand would raise eyebrows, but a beautifully redone garden, that might even earn compliments. Watch as she takes her material home to carry out her dark plan. The body wasn't discovered until March 2022, hidden beneath the flourishing plant she had so carefully arranged. This tragic story began 4 years ago in Pakistan and, like many avoidable deaths, started with a perceived slight. Samaya Begum, a student at Leeds Beckett University, refused to marry the husband, her cousin, chosen for her by relatives when she was just 16. While child marriage might not raise eyebrows in some parts of the world, Samaya had stepped away from such traditions, determined to live life on her own terms. Her uncle, Muhammad Tarus Khan, wasn't having it. To protect Samaya from her immediate family's pressures, a forced marriage protection order was imposed, legally ensuring she wouldn't be forced into marriage against her will. She moved out of her father's house to live with her mother and uncle, Khan. However, the danger wasn't left behind. It was waiting for her there. Angry and disappointed in her choices, Khan saw her defiance as unacceptable. 4 years later, he took her life in a brutal act of revenge. After the murder, Khan sought to dispose of the body. He drove to what appeared to be a familiar spot, a facility he accessed with ease, wearing leather gloves as if he had done this before. He parked with precision, positioning the car so the passenger door was flush with the entrance to avoid drawing attention as he moved the body in broad daylight. Every moment was deliberate, practiced, a chilling sign that this might not have been his first time. Some time ago, in the not-so-distant past, Kim Jong-nam was meant to be the heir apparent to his father, Kim Jong-il, leader of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. But something went terribly wrong. There are many theories about his sudden fall from grace. Some say he lost favor after an attempt to visit Tokyo Disneyland with a fake passport in 2001, while Kim Jong-nam himself claimed it was his push for reforms that led to his exile in 2003. Despite leaving Korea, His criticism of the regime likely set the stage for what happened to him in 2017. This video, captured by CCTV at Kuala Lumpur International Airport, Malaysia, shows Kim Jong-nam's last moments. No one expects death to arrive the way it did for him, swift and entirely unexpected. As he walked through the crowded departures hall, a figure in a white top with a feminine appearance approached him from behind. In a quick motion, she grabbed him, touched his face briefly, and then disappeared into the crowd. Kim immediately sensed something was wrong. He approached airport security, gesturing his face in an animated manner. Security acted quickly, taking him to the airport's medical center where medics tried to help. But it was too late. Kim Jong-nam had been poisoned with VX nerve gas, one of the deadliest substances known to man. Within minutes, he succumbed to the effects. His final moments, slumped in a chair, show him looking peaceful, as much as death allows. Speculation about who was behind his assassination points back to North Korea and his younger brother Kim Jong-un. Was this a calculated move to silence a critic of the regime? We may never know for certain. Watching Gemma Mitchell on screen as she arrives at Mi Kun Chong's apartment, you might think she's a sweet and calm woman. But even in this moment, as she stands there calmly, she has already planned one of the most gruesome murders. Let's take a step back to where it all began. Mitcha had lost £230,000 to builders who disappeared with her money. To recover financially, her friend Mi Kung Chong, who suffered from schizophrenia, initially offered £200,000 to help with renovations. However, Mi Kung later changed her mind, suggesting that Mitchell sell the property instead and enjoy the money. This decision caused Mitchell to snap, prompting her to travel to Mi's home in Wembley with a large blue suitcase, the very one seen in the footage. Mitchell, an osteopath with detailed knowledge of human anatomy, murdered Mi Kun in her home and stuffed her body in the suitcase. The murder took place on June 11th, but it wasn't until June 26th that Mitchell disposed of the suitcase containing Mi Kun's remains in a wooded area near Bennett Road in Devon. On July 6th, Mitchell was arrested at the home she shared with her mother. There's a look of surprise on her face as the cuffs are placed on her. After a series of murderers targeting homeless people in Las Vegas, this footage captures the success of a sting operation. Police set up a mannequin under a blanket, making it look like someone was sleeping there. Shane Schindler wastes no time attacking the person under the blanket. The video shows him bludgeoning the would-be victim with a hammer, falling directly into the trap. As Schindler tries to escape, likely realizing too late that it was a setup, he is surrounded by armed officers who were waiting nearby, ready to apprehend him. It's chilling to see how quickly he turned from observing the bundle of blankets to launching a full-blown attack. Sometimes things aren't quite what they seem, and context makes all the difference. This clip captures what appears to be an ordinary elderly woman exiting her apartment with some trash bags in hand. But this isn't just any old woman. It's St. Petersburg's famous Granny Ripper, Tarma Samsonova. She's believed to be caught in the act, carrying bags suspected to contain dismembered body parts. At first glance, there's nothing unusual about her demeanor. She looks like any other senior taking out the trash. But when you know who she is and what she's done, this seemingly mundane moment takes on a chilling, sinister energy. This clip captures the chilling moments as Azam Mangori follows his victim, Lorraine Cox, through the streets of Exeter. Whether Lorraine realized she was being followed remains unclear, but it certainly doesn't seem like it. At one point, as they walk down the street, Mangori hides behind a pillar, letting Lorraine get further ahead before resuming his pursuit. Without the context of what's about to happen, you might not even realize she's being followed, even as CCTV captures their entire path through the streets. Eventually, Mangori closes the distance between them and places his arm around her shoulder, guiding her down the road. Their pace quickens, and it's evident that he's leading her somewhere secluded. The end of the video is perhaps the most disturbing, showing Mangori later leaving the scene, possibly carrying Lorraine's body in a large, nondescript bag slung over his back. The bag's size makes it hard to imagine it carrying anything else, yet it's subtle enough to go unnoticed in broad daylight. Seeing a clip of a murderer before their crime is chilling enough. But this footage shows Sean Bull caught on CCTV acting as if nothing terrible was about to happen. He and his friend, Paulius Petrosinas, are seen joking and chatting together, walking to the store and then heading back home. It all seems normal, but just moments later, the CCTV captures Sean running from the crime scene. In his hand, he's holding a hunting knife, the very weapon he used to kill his friend. While Sean might not be a serial killer, it's unnerving to watch him laughing and playing around just hours before committing such a horrific act. Fortunately, thanks to clear CCTV evidence, he was arrested shortly after the incident.
Well, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
All right, well, we're just going to take a quick look around. We need to have a look.
So, sorry, you're Robert?
Yeah.
Okay.
This clip might not be from CCTV, but it's just as revealing. Body cam footage captures the moment police enter the home of a confessed killer. They're looking for his girlfriend, who no one had heard from in weeks. The man isn't detained, and while some officers head upstairs to search the house, he sits on the couch, seeming confused. He tells the officers that he and his girlfriend had a fight a few weeks ago and that he hasn't heard from her since.
Sleeping. I sleep with plugs in and...
Hey, we've been here for hours and hours and hours now, hey? Banging on your door and ringing on the doorbell.
Calling your phone. I've been drinking and smoking a lot, so...
Okay.
Okay,
So, she's not with her sister.
What do you mean?
Well, that's the reason that we're here,
Why do you think we're here?
is that the family's calling us saying we haven't heard from our daughter and our sister.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay, that makes sense?
Yeah,
Okay, why does that make sense?
because I haven't heard from her either.
Okay. So do you guys get in some sort of argument?
No, not that I'm aware of.
So what makes you believe that she's with her sister?
She told me that she was going to go and spend Easter with them on Tuesday. I was talking about it because I don't have my son, so, you know, it's kind of depressed about that. Just, yeah, a lot of drinking a lot over the weekend because I've pretty much been on my own, right?
Okay.
The officers don't appear to believe his story, and for good reason. He would later confess to murdering her. In this moment, however, he's improvising excuses. The footage cuts out before the man's arrest, ending as the officers return downstairs and the one filming steps out to make a call. Despite this, the body cam footage was crucial during his trial, showing his demeanor, which was anything but that of a concerned boyfriend.
Yes. Pull that one first. All right, let them get ready. Y'all ready? Come on, guys. Back. Just jammed in here.
Horrifying things happen in the world, but sometimes there's a happy ending. Kayla Brown was found chained inside a shipping container in the woods by her kidnapper. This footage captures the moment rescuers discovered her, released after Todd Colehep confessed to a quadruple killing.
Y'all move. Someone got a weapon. I got it. Watch out, boss. Back up.
Hey, Joey.
Sheriff's officer.
Sheriff's officer.
What?
Grab that
Back up there.
Just one. Are you okay?
Grab what? Go.
Do you have any weapons? Coming through, okay?
What's your name? What's your name, man? Lauren. Okay. All right.
Just a girl.
Just a girl. How are you, honey? This is bolt cutters. This is our best. He's a paramedic.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we're going to get you out of there, okay?
The team rushes into the container, moving quickly but carefully, and finds Kala tied up on the floor. She looks sick and exhausted as the rescuers surround her.
Just hit the chain right there, loose. Hold it up. Yeah. Just right there at her hand, Brandon. We'll get it off. We'll get it off here. Cut it right here. Do you know where your buddy is?
Charlie?
Yes.
He shot him.
He shot him? Who did?
Todd Colehep shot Charlie Carver 3 times in the chest, wrapped him in a blue tarp, put him in the bucket of the tractor, locked me down here, and I never seen him again. He says he's dead and buried. He says there's several bodies dead and buried out here, and he says that the dogs will be ruined if they go looking because there's red pepper.
We're going to step you up, sweet. Because there's what?
Red pepper.
Okay.
Tell the dog people that.
Slowly, they use bolt cutters to remove the chains from around her neck. As she's being freed, Kala shares everything she knows about Colehep's murders and the locations of bodies he's buried. Finally, they escort her out of the container and back to safety. Unlike his other victims, Kala survived. Her story ends with a rare glimmer of hope amid the horror. It's rare to have footage of a serial killer in action, but this clip captures the chilling final moments of Samantha Koenig. While closing her workplace for the night, Samantha can be seen glancing outside repeatedly, checking the window, as if ensuring no one is approaching. Eventually, she shuts off the lights and presumably begins preparing to leave. Once the lights are out, the darkness obscures what's happening, but the outcome becomes tragically clear. Samantha is likely attacked and either carried or dragged off the premises. This footage marks the last time anyone saw the 18-year-old barista alive, until her body was discovered much later. At first glance, this clip looks like an ordinary scene of a few people walking into a convenience store. They go about their transaction as usual until the woman in the video becomes irate. She seems to engage with the worker, pointing at them, and, at one point, even makes them spin around. Eventually, she and her companion leave without incident. What makes this footage chilling is the context. The woman is Joanna Dennehy, infamous for the Peterborough ditch murders. She killed 3 men, including her partner, a friend, and a housemate, dumping their bodies in ditches after stabbing them. It's likely the man beside her in this video was one of her victims. It's unsettling to realize that such normal, everyday interactions with spree and serial killers are sometimes captured on CCTV, hiding the horrors that follow. It's always shocking when someone's final moments are caught on camera. In this clip, 2 men are seen walking out of what looks like a pub, and things quickly escalate into a fight. They're visibly agitated, pointing angrily and going back and forth for a few minutes. The tension rises as one man closes the distance between them, getting right in the other's face. The video doesn't show the devastating conclusion, a single punch delivered by one man causing the other to collapse. It's chilling to think that neither of them likely expected things to end this way. What could have been a minor altercation that ended with them going their separate ways instead turned tragic for both.
soon as well. So. Yeah. Thank you. 0605, I've got the final.
Body cams often capture surreal moments, and this footage is no exception. Officers are seen calmly bringing David Fuller, a convicted murderer, into custody. Compared to many arrests, this one feels strangely subdued. The older man complies fully as they guide him into the police station, holding his arm and escorting him through several gates and doors.
Yes, I'm Sergeant.
Just push through.
Oh, thank you.
What's the offence?
Suspicion of murder.
In the circumstances, please.
In 1987, there was 2 murders. One of Wendy Nell.
Sorry, 1987.
There were 2 murders. One of Wendy Nell and one of Caroline Pierce. There's been an investigation, and they've now been able to forensically link David Fuller to them offences. So we therefore attended his address today, and then he was arrested on suspicion of the murder.
What makes it so unsettling is Fuller's demeanor: quiet, cooperative, and patient, as if the gravity of his crimes doesn't weigh on him.
Shoe down the other end.
You want to do your tracksuit bottoms in there?
Yeah.
Just get that one. Just do it again now. Sorry. You know where the pocket was?
Yeah. Yeah?
Can you just quickly wind your trousers just to make sure it was on your pocket of your trousers that was causing this to go off? That's yes. Of course it was. Yeah, nice.
He's quickly booked and led to his private cell, where his days of freedom officially come to an end. Watching these final moments as an almost free man is chilling, knowing the extent of his crimes. Small neighborhoods are often quiet, but Seminole Heights area in Tampa is anything but when Howell Emmanuel Donaldson III was linked to a string of violent murders. His parents, Howell Jr. and Rosita Donaldson, tried to stay tight-lipped, but everything unraveled when footage surfaced that linked their son to the crimes. The CCTV footage, though grainy, showed a man walking just moments before Ronald Felton, a 60-year-old unemployed construction worker volunteering at a food bank, was shot and killed around 5 a.m. Felton was the 4th victim in a series of killings that terrified the community. Donaldson, then 24, was arrested after handing a pistol into a bag to his manager at the McDonald's where he worked. He told her to bury it so deep no one would find it. Instead of complying, his manager contacted authorities, leading to his capture. Strangely enough, Donaldson's co-workers had been joking for weeks that he resembled the murderer shown in the CCTV footage, even nicknaming him Killer, unaware of how accurate their suspicions were. Without the damning evidence Donaldson unwittingly provided, authorities might have never caught him. This case highlights the importance of both technology and human vigilance in solving crimes. Grace Millen, the young woman in the video wearing a pretty black dress, is about to turn 22. Grace had a dream to see the world, and before her 22nd birthday, she left her home in Essex, United Kingdom, to backpack through New Zealand. On the eve of her birthday, she went on a Tinder date with a man named Jesse Kimson. His neat appearance masked the dark intentions he carried. The pair started their evening at a Mexican cafe, where Grace's warm personality shone as she interacted easily with the staff, sharing smiles and conversation. The night continued with stops at various spots, including a cozy moment at the Blue Room where the two shared an intimate connection. They strolled down the street together, took the elevator to Kempson's room, and seemed relaxed throughout. But when Kempson reappeared later, his demeanor had changed. He was seen heading to a store, checking out suitcases, eventually purchasing one. From this point forward, Grace was no longer seen. Where had she gone? Kempson continued his daily activities as if nothing had happened, shopping at a mall, riding the elevator to and from his room, and even going out on another date. Later, Kempson was seen carrying 2 heavy suitcases into an elevator and loading them into a red rental car. The weight of the luggage and his effort to move it suggested something sinister. The following morning at 6:50 a.m., the car was seen at a hardware store where Kempson purchased a shovel. When he returned to his hotel, he only had 1 suitcase, which appeared significantly lighter. He was later seen at a laundromat and car wash, methodically cleaning the car. Police discovered Grace's body buried in the earth, with a suitcase serving as a coffin. Kimson was arrested on December 8th, 7 days after the date. CCTV footage shows Kimson walking into the hotel, but upon noticing the police, he casually walked back out. Moments before, officers chased after him. Edgemere police attribute their breakthrough in a disturbing case to the CCTV footage. The clip helped identify a man suspected of shipping a dead woman's body through National Mail. Initially, investigators struggled for leads, with the parcel company unable to provide any information. The CCTV cameras, installed after a series of similar cases, captured a grainy image of the suspect. The footage had to be enhanced in an external lab to bypass the low-resolution distortion. The gruesome discovery was made when a foul smell began emanating from the package, revealing the severely disfigured body of the victim. This disfigurement made identification nearly impossible. Police reportedly approached the nearly 40 families across Delhi to help identify the remains. All they had to go on from the footage was that the alleged killer was seen pulling a rickshaw. This clip of a robbery gone wrong played a critical role in identifying and capturing a killer. Thanks to a quick-thinking Rite Aid cashier who placed a GPS tracker into the bag of stolen money, police were able to track and arrest Keith Gibson. The suspect was linked to 6 murders, including the killing of a Dunkin' Donuts manager caught on video minutes before her death. In the footage, Gibson is seen forcing his way into the store early in the morning, targeting the manager as she opened for business. He stole about $300 from the safe before moving to his next crime. The cashier's quick action helped police apprehend Gibson at a nearby location, finally connecting him to a string of brutal slayings. Without the GPS tracker, the CCTV footage alone might not have been enough to secure his capture. In this chilling clip, Stephen Port, known as the Grinder Killer, is captured on CCTV traveling to meet his 4th victim, Jack Taylor. The meeting appears casual, as seen from the door footage showing Port entering Taylor's home. Shortly after, he leaves, his intentions already set in motion. Between 2014 and 2015, Port used fatal doses of GHB to murder his victims, disposing of their bodies near his flat. Despite mounting evidence, police initially failed to connect the deaths, allowing Port's spree to continue longer than it should have. Ignored warnings from family and friends only exacerbated the oversight. Fortunately, the doorbell camera eventually captured the man responsible, bringing his horrifying crimes to light after the 4th murder. Willie Suarez Maceo, a once successful real estate agent, was charged with 2 first-degree murders, officially earning the title of serial killer. Surveillance footage from a local business captures Maceo walking towards the crime scene, providing investigators with a clear image of their suspect. However, the case initially went cold as there was no solid connections between the murders. Maceo's motives remain unclear, though his victims were unhoused residents of Miami. Some speculate that he may have targeted them out of frustration or viewed their presence as detrimental to the city's real estate market. Regardless of his reasoning, this case shows how someone living an ordinary life can hide a sinister side. Perez Reed, a suspected serial killer, was taken into custody with a semi-automatic pistol linked to the multiple killings between St. Louis and Kansas City. Over a short period, 6 shootings occurred with the same firearm, leaving 4 victims dead. Surveillance footage captured Reed entering an apartment building with one of his victims, who was later found dead within a week. In the same building, Reed had previously been recorded entering the premises on a different occasion. Despite attempting to mask his identity with a face covering, his distinct forehead tattoo ultimately helped identify him as the suspect. This evidence, combined with the firearm and his movements, linked him to the gruesome string of murders.